I don't care about his kickboxing. Dirt. And then, you know, taking it up.
That's kind of how I, like, most of the time, that's how I hear fucking Jesse on Fire. It just sounds like DURKA. It reminds me very much of Team America. Fuck yeah! America! Fuck yeah!
DURKA, Muhammad Jihad. Haka Sherpa, Bacala.
Oh, DURKA.
All right, Gary!
Told you he was Top Gun.
I've never seen acting that good.
He's amazing.
So here's to the fighters, the fans on the game. Here's to the blood, sweat and tears and the fame. And here's to Oz and Key, ready to go on the brutally honest MMA show.
Jesse on Fire responds, finally, only 2 videos. Only two fucking videos for a response. But we got a response. We baited him. He's out line and sinker. He's set the gauntlet. 10 fucking K subscribers. So if you want me and Jesse go to war, then you need to hit that fucking subscribe button because it's coming. It's coming. And once it starts, it's not gonna fucking stop. So when we hit that 10K, we'll get a video response. He left a comment and we'll pop that up now so you'll be able to see it. And he replied on the comment saying, once you hit 10K subscribers, I'll respond. Keep grinding. And once we hit those 10K, why is my papaka fucking... It feels... We'll spin it round. Is that... there we go. And once we hit 10K, I've heard that Jesse on Fire does jiu-jitsu. So maybe we can sort a jiu-jitsu match out, Jesse. Maybe we can. Now I know that you watch these videos. I challenge you. Once I hit 10K, we'll get the rivalry going. We'll get it going. And then we'll have a fucking jiu-jitsu match. Anyway, we're going to move on to the response video. Well, the reaction video, sorry. The reaction video. So don't forget, hit like, subscribe, and keep this going because I'm not going to stop. I'm going to get there, 10K, and we're going to see you at 10K, Jesse. Anyway, we've got a fucking a reaction video now.
Max Holloway is an inspiration. And this weekend, for me, was like the exact culmination of what he said. Because the only thing that matters is how you see yourself, the story that you tell yourself about your life. And I'm just some other guy, some rando dude in the crowd. But I know that I paid for those tickets because I tried to build this channel and I just grinded until it worked. And
hang on. I know I paid for those tickets because I grinded at this channel until I knew it worked. What's he trying to say? I mean, I'm guessing what he's trying to say is that he's so proud that he's got the money from this channel, from you suckers watching him, that you suckers watching him have afforded him to have luxurious experiences such as attending UFC 300, but not in the stands with the fans, you know, on the ground floor, probably by the cage. I don't know what seats he had, but he's kind of showboating in a way that makes me think that he had premium seats. He didn't have like the fucking nosebleed seats with, you know, with the lads having the beers, you know, the fucking real fans. Anyway, I'm sure he's super proud. Well done, Jesse, on that humble brag there. Humble brag.
I was just overwhelmed with gratitude this entire weekend to the UFC, to the circumstances that this worked out in, and to all of you guys that have made it possible. So thank you guys very much.
The circumstances that this worked out in. Yeah, I like it. He did thank your fans like for being suckers. You've afforded him these luxury seats at UFC 300. But the circumstances, I mean, most people, I wouldn't say most people, but a lot of people can sacrifice certain parts of their lifestyle to be able to afford to go to UFC 300. It's hard to get tickets because the demand outweighs, you know, the supply. So not many people actually get to go. And obviously they raise the prices when it's more popular and all that shit. So yeah, maybe they were more expensive than the average pay-per-view. Which outpriced some fans. But yeah, nice little humble brag there, Jesse. Thanks, suckers.
And now I'm going to make you laugh, making fun of Colby Covington, unless you have no sense of humor.
I mean, he's not really going to make many people laugh. I love it when people say what they're going to do, because they tend to not be that person. It's like people who say, I'm really funny. You're definitely not fucking funny, so shut the fuck up. But when someone's telling you that they're going to make you laugh, they definitely, most likely, 99.9% and definitely not going to make you laugh unless they're so cringe that, you know, by default, you laugh at them, not with them. Then maybe.
Back to Jesse on Fire.
I mean, I love that he accuses you of not having humor if you don't laugh at him.
All right, I'm back from Vegas. This is the first moment that I'm recording since being back from UFC 300, and I have a couple messages that I need to start off with. The first one being about Alex Pereira, the hardest dude on planet Earth. It actually has to do with his girl, Polyana Viana. So I saw that she posted a meme kind of video, I don't know, TikTok or something, you know, let me. This is my takeaway from Polyana posting that. I bet you she's pretty stoked that she decided not to slide a finger where Colby Covington wanted it, because then he might have fallen in love with her and she might have ended up with Colby as opposed to the biggest savage on planet Earth. And now she has Pereira as her man. And I think that's probably a slight upgrade from Colby Covington. No offense, dude, you know, but let's be honest. Now, you could upgrade my life by liking this video and subscribing to my channel, which I would appreciate greatly.
Is he going to go down the stealing? You're stealing from Jesse on Fire. If you haven't subscribed, you're stealing. You're stealing, fucking cunt. Let's see.
I love you guys. Now, comment also. I want to hear all of your thoughts, especially about whether or not Polyana got the better deal with Alex Pereira versus Colby. I'm just kidding. I have much more important stuff. I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are. I'm going to read all the comments. Subscribe, comment, like the video. I love you guys. Obviously, I have a million topics.
I mean, I don't. That's some proper fucking Gaily Goss, that is, isn't it? Like, how many people really give a flying fuck who Polyana's shagging at this point in time? Not me. Don't really care. Unless it's one, like, unless you're the guy that she's shagging, does anyone really care? No, they don't. They don't. So, yeah, let's move on swiftly from that one.
I need to talk about today, but I actually want to start about the fight with Alex Pereira and Jamahal Hill. I'm going to follow that with some stuff about Wei Lee and the reaction that the crowd gave her after she did her speech, which was the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and some other stuff related to the crowd at the live show.
I mean, I don't think it was that disrespectful. The fans, you know what was disrespectful? The fans walking out on Glover Teixeira in his last fight against Jamahal Hill. That was disrespectful. That was fucking disrespectful. Was this disrespectful? Not really. Not in my opinion.
I want to talk about Jamahal Hill specifically because people are hammering him online. They're making all these memes. They're like, when talking trash goes wrong. And it's like, you know, the culmination of Jamahal Hill, like, I'm going to starch him. I don't care about his kickboxing. Dirt. And then, you know, taking it up.
Dirt. That's kind of how I, like, most of the time, that's how I hear fucking Jesse on Fire. It just sounds like DURKA. It reminds me very much of Team America. Fuck yeah! America! Fuck yeah!
DURKA, Muhammad Jihad. Haka Sherpa, a bacala.
Oh, DURKA.
All right, Gary!
Told you he was Top Gun.
I've never seen acting that good.
He's amazing.
DURKA. Let's continue.
Uppercut knockout. It's predictable. It's obvious people are going to do that, but I want to talk about that specifically and what I think about the way he talked about it in the pre-fight, how it went down, what comes next, etc. Because I have some thoughts that I think are pretty much inarguable related to that, and I want to talk about Alex Pereira also because that
inarguable,
was the coldest stare down
big statement
in history. I know the previous coldest stare down. Everybody knows Vanderlei Silva against Crow Cop in Pride, and that really was ice cold. And, you know, Rogan's like, Crow Cop is a dude that's killed someone with a knife.
He really didn't have to play this clip. Like, it's on every time you flick on like YouTube Shorts, you come across this fucking clip. Like, do we need to see it, Jesse? Like, when you reference something that like popular, do you really need to dumb it down for your audience? You don't. You really don't.
I stated earlier in the evening in an erroneous statement. I said there was 14,500 people. There are in fact 18,926 people.
So the Pereira side of the Jamahal Hill and Pereira stare down is that good. It's that
right. So I disagree straight away. It wasn't cold. It wasn't cold. It was fun. It was fun. Like it was a bit serious, but it felt like it felt theatrical. It felt more like a theatre performance. Whereas the Wanderlei and Crow Cop stare down, that was fucking death. That was cold. This it had elements of being cold, but it was fun once it felt theatrical because it was 300 main event. He shoots a bow and arrow, which is it's a bit cheesy. It is a bit cheesy. I know it's Pereira and he's a tough guy, but it is a bit cheesy. And then even a bit more cheesier when fucking Jamahal Hill catches it and breaks it on his knee. It was cool as fuck. I'm into the cheese. I'm into that kind of cheese. Unfortunately, I grew up on wrestling, WWE, and I quickly shifted to boxing. But I have that element of cheese that I don't mind. I don't mind it. But it was not cold. It's not as cold as the fucking Jesse's making out. Cold moment, fucking cold. I mean, he's had a pampered life if he thinks that's cold. He's had a pampered life. Like you can tell, he's the guy that's maybe he's got a unique backstory that I don't know, but from my point of view, he's had a bit of a cushy life, and fair play to the guy. It's not his fault he's had a cushy life, but I think it's kept him in this fucking blinkers fucking view of the world, because this was not fucking cold.
Looks just like Mirko Crow Cop. You don't see Jamahal Hill break quite as obviously as Wanderlei Silva did right there. Like you in that stare down, you literally can watch Wanderlei Silva shrink. You know, you could. It looks like he gets smaller on the screen because he was just like. I mean, you can look straight into the eyes of a person you're about to fight like that. You're gonna see if there is any chink in their armor at all. You're about.
I can't wait for me and you stare down, Jesse. We'll fucking stare down. We'll have a good stare off when we fucking grapple. We'll do grappling first, like I said. But yeah, we'll have a fucking stare down. We'll see if you blink. Who takes the fucking first step backwards, man? Guarantee it's not fucking me.
To fight in a cage or a ring. And it's like a person who's as intuitive as Jamahal Hill. He's a super intuitive guy, dude. You could tell, well, if you're an intuitive guy, you already know that also, that he's a guy who's going to be able to size a person up real easy. And if he's standing nose to nose with a guy that he's about to fight in front of the entire world in a sold-out crowd, UFC 300 main event, 1 million pay-per-view buys or more, and he's looking in his face, you can see that he looked in the eyes of Alex Pereira and realized he's looking into the eyes of the fucking Grim Reaper. That's what that looked like to me. Go watch that. If I show even 1 second of that stare down, it's going to get, the video's going to get blocked. It won't even be a copyright thing. They won't let me post it. UFC.
Oh, he's talking about the actual stare down. Okay, fair enough. He's talking about the actual stare down. I thought he was talking about he was referring to this. So he's talking about the actual stare down. Yeah, I think he's kind of I don't know the rules around fucking YouTube, but maybe he's admitted that for fucking, you know, so he doesn't have to deal with the backlash of it not being better than the comparison between the Wanderlei and Crow Cop video. I don't remember it being as cold as that. What? Nothing beats Wanderlei and Crow Cop.
He has a thing on where you can't even post the video if you use any of their footage. So I can't show any of it, but go watch it on your own. And trust me, you're going to see it yourself. It's bananas. Now, let's move over and talk about what I wanted to talk about. Bananas. Which is, everybody doing the, you know, when trash talk goes wrong, gets humbled, yada, yada, yada. So I want to talk about that. I want to show you guys one of these videos. I literally just picked this at random. So Pascal, you're welcome. So we're going to watch this. And then I want to talk about Jamahal Hill and kind of where he goes from here.
I plan on going in there. And whenever I do fight him, standing, I will knock him out.
That's Jamahal Hill laid him out. Putting another opponent to sleep. First round knockout.
And when I do, I'm going to rub it in every single one of y'all.
Subscribe. Don't steal from Jesse. Also, subscribe to me.
Make it look easy.
10K.
I believe I could really make this fight look easy.
No judges needed in Las Vegas tonight.
I've seen that he's not on my level. I've seen he's not on my level. It's not close, and I can't wait to get in there tomorrow and show that.
We getting it in. When you step in there with me, ain't nothing to talk about, ain't nothing to say. It's all right here, and I'm on your ass.
This is the moment you all been waiting for.
Can't show the stare down, but you can show the fucking fight.
All right. So first of all, excellent edit, Pascal Logic. That was really good, dude. I hadn't even watched it when I picked it. So excellent work, good sir. Now here's the deal. When you watch that, I understand how people are obviously going to be like, all right, well, now we're going to humiliate you because you talked all that trash. It's inevitable because specifically Jamahal Hill said, when I do, I'm going to rub it in everybody's face that's been talking trash. It's like, all right, you've now set the terms, dude. You know what I mean? Like, so I have a whole other talk track on this, but I had not seen that clip, and now I have to at least say, you did set the terms. If you say that, then they're like, well, if you don't, we're going to rub your face in it, and that's fair. That is a reasonable...
Fucking hell, how many times does he whack the fucking subscribe button up? It comes up every fucking 30 seconds. I wish they put it over his fucking face so we didn't have to see his face for 10 seconds of the fucking video. But yeah, I kind of agree with what he's saying. If you talk shit, expect fucking, you know, expect the fan base to come out after you after the fight.
Okay, but you remove that out of it, right? Like, take that part completely out of it. And here is my take on this, right? Jamahal Hill played this exactly right. And I'll tell you why, okay? This...
Here you go. Just in case you didn't know, he's going to tell you exactly why.
This is the most high-stakes game on planet Earth, all right? If you try to shy away from how high-stakes the game is, I don't think that's the correct approach. I think that each person needs to know how they best perform in the octagon. And if you're a person that, like, by elevating the...
Waffle. This is just waffle now.
Putting more pressure on yourself than you perform better, then that's what you do. Also, that's going to be better for promoting the fight. It is absolutely, if you are the main...
It's good for promoting the fight, but all that elevation bullshit that he was talking about, he was just waffling.
Then of UFC 300, you should be hyping that fight, and that is exactly how you do it. You know, I was like, dude, my take on Jamahal Hill all week, I was like, he looks irrationally confident, which makes him super dangerous. But here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. All the people talking trash, like, this is what I would say to Jamahal Hill. First of all, you played the highest stakes game you could have possibly done. You made it the most possible pressure on yourself that you could have, making it to where if you would have won, the place would have exploded and you would have been on a level that is hard to, you know, wrap your brain around. If he would have won by knockout over Poatan on Saturday night, then the world would have changed for him in a way that's hard to wrap your brain around, honestly. So part of this game is the performance in the cage, and the other part is how are they playing the fight game? And if you don't respect a guy who is willing to put it all on the line, and like really put it all on the line by making ridiculous, like, not ridiculous, but like ridiculously setting the bar very high predictions of how you're going to perform against the best striker probably that's ever fought in the UFC, and now we know the most powerful puncher. I mean, listen, dude, you have to respect that. That said, I think people are going to stop underestimating Alex Pereira's striking now. You know what I mean?
Was that a transition? Was that that was a really bad transition if it was. Or it was a glitch in the Jesse Matrix, but let's go back.
Powerful puncher. I mean, listen, dude, you have to respect that.
That being said,
I think
yeah, it was a fucking edit. Fucking hell. That was a terrible edit. Fire your editor right now. Fire him, because that was terrible. That's why he does all the hand movements to sort of fucking glitch into the fucking edits, man.
People are going to stop underestimating Alex Pereira's striking now. You know what I mean? Where it's like, dude, you think that this is some kind of fluke? Or like, well, Sean Strickland just got caught. No. Sean Strickland has incredible defense. Pereira.
I don't think anyone in the MMA world, unless you're super fucking casual, I mean, even casuals, everyone knows that Alex Pereira has got amazing striking. That was never the question going into UFC 300. It was never the question. The argument surrounding the fight was Jamahal Hill would be too fast for Alex Pereira. And there was a bit of back and forward that they were saying that Jamahal Hill's a good striker. He's a great striker. He's going to be too fast for Pereira. That was a lot of people were saying that. That was the narrative. The narrative was never Alex Pereira is not a good striker. Everyone knows that he's a good striker. He's a glory 2-time kickboxing champion. He's put loads of people away in the UFC with his striking. That I think surprised a lot of people as well. So there was no question there. I don't know where he's got that from. I really don't know where he's dragged that up from.
Jamahal Hill never got knocked out. And he got set up and he got knocked out. Like there was no accident about that strike. There's not like he's throwing the same combinations and one of the times it landed. He set him up with that and then he starched him with it, And now that we know he punches.
Well, that was always that was the question. It was that was the question. That's what made this fight so exciting. Who's going to set the better traps? Who's going to get caught? That was it. Who's going to set traps? Who was going to get caught? And it ended up being Pereira who got off and landed the shots they needed to win the fight. I don't think anyone was too surprised. I don't think many of the people who were backing Jamahal Hill were thinking, well, Pereira's got no chance against Hill. He's got no chance. His striking isn't good enough. They just thought that Hill's striking would have been he had the traps and the speed to outstrike Pereira, because Pereira's striking defense isn't that great. His boxing defense isn't that great. He does get caught. He's very clever in setting up shots. He is very, very fucking clever, and that comes from his kickboxing background. I said it going into the fight that his traps are too good. I didn't expect him to go forward as much as he did go forward. I thought he would have set more traps and maybe countered and let Jamahal Hill come to him, but he just wanted that fucking smoke, so he went for it. I don't think anyone questioned that. No one questioned Pereira's striking ability.
40% harder than Francis Ngannou. You understand why when he hits him with just one of his knuckles on the way up, the lights go out. You can't get touched by that guy. And if Jamal feels embarrassed or I don't know, I can't really imagine what that would feel like to be in his position. I would just say the following. There's not a human on earth who gets hit with that.
Right. So is ex-world champion of the world, light heavyweight champion of the world, Jamahal Hill. YouTuber Jesse on Fire has got some advice for you. He's got some advice, so listen up. We'll just clock this back a few seconds because this is very important. This is a section of the video that everyone needs to pay attention to and maybe learn something from. Jesse's advice for ex-UFC champion, never competed himself in the UFC or taken a fight. So it's interesting that he's got this, this foresight, this wisdom. Let's hear it.
There's not a human on earth who gets hit with that shot that is not out. No, not one person. No one. No one eats that shot. No one eats that shot from him. And so really, you just are playing the highest stakes game there is, and everyone makes some kind of mistake.
There it is. There's the subscribe button again. Whack it whack it over his face, just so we get 10 seconds where we don't have to see his face. Anyway, let's get back to that. So he swiftly continued on from the wisdom and went straight into conversation and waffle. But yeah, there's not a man alive. Great advice, that is. That's great advice. As if he's going to take comfort in that. Like, because if you're a competitive person, I'm a super competitive person. No matter what I do, losing is insufferable. I fucking hate losing. Anyone who's competitive knows that. And Jamahal Hill is super fucking competitive. You can tell. He's not just a UFC fighter, he's super competitive UFC fighter. Jamahal Hill. And no matter what fucking words that you give him, I don't know how you've got the fucking nerve to give him any advice and start saying all this waffle. But no matter what you say to that guy, he's not going to be happy. He's not going to be happy. He's going to have to sit with those feelings and just learn to. That's part of it, is learning to sit with those feelings, not fucking dismissing them by saying, oh yeah, well, no one's taking that shot, or, you know, coulda, shoulda, woulda. It's about sitting with those feelings and fucking going, you know what, I fucking lost and I fucking hate it. And sit with those feelings, and he'll recover from it and he'll bounce back. If he starts doing that shit what he's just said, like covering it up and start making excuses like no one survives that shot and all that bullshit, then that sends you into a weak level of thinking, absolutely weak level of thinking.
There is no way to spar and prepare for
you won't grow from that. You won't grow from it.
You got caught with a shot. That's it. You got caught with a shot. It doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
You know, you also probably came back too soon. And I understand exactly why. I mean, let's be honest, dude. 10 months for a severed Achilles tendon is a fast turnaround. And no one was talking about that, really.
What?
It's one of those things where if a guy said...
What? No one was talking about it? No one was talking about it. I was talking about it. Everyone was talking about it. In the fucking promo, they talked about it. Tell me who the fuck wasn't talking about it. Even Guru was talking about it. Every fucking channel was talking about it. What the fuck is that bullshit? No one was talking about it. What the fuck are you watching? What the fuck are you watching? Everyone was talking about it. Not bad.
As he's good to go, then why would you question it? He's like, oh no, I'm 100%. You're like, all right, I'm good to go. But in hindsight, everybody knows, like, that is one of the most devastating injuries, like, you know, non kind of like breaks of your entire leg, like, you know, Connor or Anderson or any of these guys took. Like, severing your Achilles is super serious. And I don't know. I mean, he came back really fast, and they gave him the opportunity to headline UFC 300. I mean, that's a pretty big incentive to hurry back. You know what I mean? So I would just say, just eat the shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to eat the shit. You said you'd rub it in their face. They're going to rub it in your face. Fuck them, dude. Who gives a shit? Honestly, all it does is build your profile. So, I don't know. I always feel like, I don't know, dude. Like, I always feel like, I would never rub a fucking loss in a guy's face. It's kind of exact opposite to how I view this whole thing. I understand why people do it. You know, it's like fun. It's like you get to participate kind of without actually having to put anything on the line. And so it's like, oh, he said he'd rub it in our face, so we'll rub it in his. It's kind of like, all right. I mean, because he said that, I can't really talk shit about it, you know. But if I was talking to Jamahal Hill, I'd be like, dude, who fucking cares? This is all good. I mean, you know, obviously losing the fights.
Oh, shit.
Doing these really idiotic.
What? I went for pauses. What? Like, if I was talking to Jamahal Hill, like, why does he keep pointing himself in that scenario where he's talking to Jamahal Hill and that he wants to offer Jamahal Hill advice? We all know that there's no such thing as bad press. Like, look at fucking Colby. He's built a fucking career off being the fucking bad guy. There's the same with Connor in some respects. He turned heel and he did pretty well off it. So, yeah, we all know that. Everyone's not stupid. I don't think he'll really fucking gives two fucks anyway whether fans like him or love him. As long as they fucking putting bums on seats and fucking buying tickets and he's getting paid, then who the fuck cares? Like he said, but I don't know why he's making a big deal about it. Like Jamahal Hill's actually made criticism about it and he's like really offended. Oh, I don't know. Well, I don't get what the point is, because is Jamahal Hill complaining about it? No. So why are you like giving all this fucking advice to him?
places sometimes, but it's kind of like, all right, you know, these guys, like, in some cases, they just don't know what they're looking at. Another example, the Bo Nickal fight. Okay, in the Bo Nickal fight, there's this moment between him and Brundage where he tried to take Brundage down, and Brundage had this great shake-off escape. It was awesome, right? Like, he kind of shook Bo Nickal off, and everyone's like, whoa! And then Bo Nickal, they get reset, and Bo immediately shoots again, and everyone boo. And like, that completely did not compute to me, because I know exactly what Bo Nickal was doing, and it just meant that they didn't understand what they were looking at. What is Bo Nickal best known for? Bo Nickal's been...
Yeah, right. I mean, I feel like I need to explain it to Jesse, because he doesn't quite get it from a fan base. Like, because he's so, wealthy from YouTube, and you suckers have paid for his tickets, that he doesn't feel that same passion that me and most of every other guy who's worked hard for weeks and months to get the tickets for go to UFC, that, we actually care about what we're watching. We're not just passive watchers. We actually fucking love this sport, and we watch it week in, week out, and we go to events that we have to save and work up, like, save money for, and it costs a lot of money to go to. Now, for him, it's kind of like, well, I can go whenever I want. I've got friends in the UFC. I've got you suckers paying for me hotel, this and that. So, but for us, the ones that are paying money to go watch it and are invested in it, we feel somewhat of a we feel passionate about what we're watching. So to see some guy who's being put on the main card when he really shouldn't have, just for the UFC to cause drama and talk about it and build Bo Nickal's profile, and knowing that they're putting him against a guy who's not really going to be competitive in the fight and on the main card, I feel there's an injustice to all the fans that paid for the pay-per-view and all the fans that paid to go into the arena. And I know there's other fights, and there's the Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje fight, but how the UFC's built their model is you're paying for a fight card. You're not paying for one fight like in boxing, and maybe there's a good undercard. You're paying for the fight card. If it's a good card, people go to a UFC event. The cards that are shit don't tend to sell out as fast, and people kind of lose interest. So that's kind of the model that they based it around. So on the main event, that's the one in the prelims, you can argue that. You can argue like what it's a prelim, but the main card, I feel like that is what people are paying for. As a whole, it's the main card. So he doesn't understand most paying customers, because he doesn't see the same viewpoint. He doesn't take the same hit financially that others would. Even if it isn't a financial thing, it's the investment of time. The amount of love and passion we give to the sport, and we invest on talking about it daily. We invest in it, like creating content and sharing communities and talking about the sport day in, day out, and that's why we get so passionate. So when we boo, we're booing because we have a right to boo. We paid for this shit. We don't want to see some guy be just he wasn't dominant in the way that, okay, that was unexpected dominance. Like when Amzat first burst onto the scene and he was stupidly dominant. Everyone kind of expects Bo Nickal to be dominant because he's a world-class wrestler. And then you're putting him against guys that are not going to be competitive. It doesn't make sense. When Amzat burst on the scene, no one really knew his capabilities, and he progressed pretty quick. So it was very different. Bo Nickal has been fed guy after guy, that he's going beats. It's a marketing, how they're building him is a marketing thing, because they didn't do the same with a lot of fighters, like young fighters. They didn't build them up slowly. They just fed them to the lions, and they ended up losing. Like, look at Sage Northcutt for an example, and Raul Rosa Jr. They both lost. They lost, and they didn't develop him in the way that they should have by giving them easier fights. They just said, fuck it. They've done it with other fighters coming from Cage Warriors and just throwing them in the deep end too fast, in my opinion. Mason Jones being one of them. Anyway, we're digressing a lot, but that is my point, is that we're passionate fans who pay money to see this and invest time. We have a fucking right to boo, especially against the Cody Brundage and Bo Nickal matchup, and the sheer shitness of the matchmaking just to progress and market Bo Nickal when everyone knows why they're doing it. Like they know we're not stupid. We know what they're doing. And if you're a Bo Nickal fan, great. But even if you're a Bo Nickal fan, please, like, you've got to see some common sense. Whether you love or dislike Bo Nickal, it's the fact that wouldn't you prefer see Bo Nickal in a competitive fight than a fight that you know where he's 99.1% odds-on favourite to win the fucking fight? Like, that's insanity to me. That's insanity, and you're paying money to watch it as well. Like, most people, when it's that much of a fucking walkover fight, you wouldn't pay for it. You wouldn't, would you? Fuck. But essentially, everyone has, because it was on the main card. Anyway, we're digressing way too much here.
Wrestling since he was 1 year old. He's one of the most decorated wrestlers ever. And
but that's the point.
Wrestling against Brundage, right? And so when he reshot, it wasn't like, oh, geez, I really don't want to strike with this guy.
He's missing the point.
It pissed him off. He was like, oh, you want to fucking wrestle, guy? You think you just got to one-up on me wrestling? And so he immediately reshot because it pissed him off, and he wanted to establish, like, you don't want to wrestle with me, dude. Don't get any false ideas that you can fuck with me wrestling.
Subscribe or you're stealing.
That he reshot again. People booed.
It was not gangster. It was anything but fucking gangster. Like, you talk about gangster. The only fucking gangsters on that card were fucking Pereira, Jamahal Hill, and fucking, well, not every, but, the gangsters. Everyone knows who the fucking gangsters are, and it's not fucking Bo Nickal. Like, yeah. I like offensive grappling. I do. I just, it's the lack of competitiveness that I think is grinding a lot, griping a lot of people. That's the thing that's really fucking people off.
I mean, I know it's obviously like people want to see people stand and bang all the time, but like Bo Nickal is a wrestler. His striking is awesome, and he's getting better and better and better and better.
Explain Khamzat Chimaev. Explain Khamzat Chimaev. Like he's been dominant in a way that, he's dominated guys and with wrestling, and he didn't get booed. So yeah. Like why are they protecting Bo Nickal? Why are they protecting Bo Nickal? Why is he fighting Cody Brundage at UFC 300 on a main card? Yeah, but
how could you boo that?
Easy, easy, because we fucking paid.
When Sarukian shot a couple times, they booed. That was dangerous, by the way. Booing anything Arman Sarukian related, yikes, man. Because the Armenian fans are crazy. There were so many Armenians there, and like when Sarukian fought.
In case you don't know, because there's Armenians. I need to be careful with my words here. Armenians are linked to gang culture. Let's put it that way, and that's what he's referring to there. Armenians are linked to gang culture. There's a pretty big Armenian gang in London, I think. They've got pretty notorious links to gang culture. Not every Armenian. I'm not saying every Armenian has, but look how gangster fucking Sarukian is. He fucking a fan tried fucking flip him off in the crowd, and he gave him the 1-2, and he went, "Fuck you." So. Yeah, they're pretty gangster, even if they're not in gangs, but or related to criminal activities. But that's what Jesse was referring to there.
Like came down the aisles, like we were in the front row of the lower section, right above the floor, and like these guys were like coming down the aisles and just standing in the aisles with the Armenian flags, and like no one was saying shit to them. None of security was saying anything, and they were bananas. And you look at them, and I'm going to tell you right now, I will tell you right now. If Conor McGregor ever fights Arman Sarukian, and so go Ireland and Armenia, the fans, there will be the number of knockout videos from the crowd and the stands and the concession stands will be, it'll set a record. There will be so many fights in the stadium, it'll be bananas. Like those Armenian guys are.
Yeah, it's true. That will happen. That will happen.
Are ready to bang all the time, dude. You look at them, like they were rabid. Sarukian is an exact representation of the culture that I saw there. Whereas like if you were like, fuck Arman Sarukian, that would have been a ballsy thing to yell from what I saw, at least. They would have pounced on you, man. It's crazy there were no fights. It's probably because he's fighting Charles Oliveira, so like everyone is so positive, and you can't get mad at.
Well, I actually made it through my first Jesse on Fire video in full, and I tell you what, that was insufferable. It was insufferable. Sorry, Jesse, but it fucking was, man. Aside from the waffle, there's one or two things I agree with him, like the Arman Sarukian fans. And the Conor fans, they will go to fucking war. It will be a war. It'll be a bloodbath in the fucking stands. Yeah. Let me know your thoughts on this reaction video. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment on your thoughts on Jesse on Fire and me. Or yeah, we're trying to get 10k subscribers. So 10k subscribers is the fucking goal. I was happy with 2 as the goal, but we're setting we're setting the aim higher. We're going for 10k. When we get 10k, this rivalry that I'm starting between me and Jesse Mill Jones. Yeah, this is another thing, right? I'm not going to mention it too much in this video because I don't think many people are going to make it to the fucking end of the video. If you have made it to the end of this fucking video, then reply to this. So I don't know too much about Jesse, but when I googled him, I thought his name was Jesse Mill, and yeah, I thought his name was Jesse Mill, and it came up Jesse Mill Jones. And I was thinking it was Jesse Mill Jones, and I was thinking he's taking his fucking wife's name, hasn't he? He's double-barreled it. He's double-barreled that shit. I can't fucking believe it. Like, what guy takes the fucking... Man. He's Ian Gary too, isn't he? He's fucking Ian Gary too. Like, he'd have a lot in common with Ian Gary by the sounds of it. If that's true, drop a comment if you've made it this far and you know the answer to that. Has he taken his wife's name? Has he double-barreled that shit? Because if he has, I need to know. And then we'll go full palt in another video. I'll make a video just about that. Anyway, like, subscribe. We're aiming for 10k. I'll see you in the next one.